And you might get to see Emma. Shush. You will also get to see... Turn around, please. Hello. No, this way.
What else do we do, Emma?
Taco burgers.
Taco and burgers.
Do we have French fries too? French fries.
And
water bottle and the Pepsi.
Water bottle and the Pepsi? Cool.
Wonderful. Now can your mother talk?
That's awesome. The MCK
Right.
back here.
Did you bring 2 pinwheels with you?
She did. Emma, speak.
Speak.
You brought 2 what else?
For what?
Candles?
Candles.
Did you get some candles?
Some candles?
What else did you do today?
Do it today.
Did all of your friends say happy birthday to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, did you feel special?
I bet if we... The toilet wipe.
Yep. We don't wipe off makeup with Clorox wipes. She wanted to wear makeup today, so we put makeup on her. Happy birthday, Miss Emma.
You guys, can you believe that Emma is 16?
I can't believe you're 16.
The Gala Sisters are 40-plus-year-old lesbians who are both allegedly in an asexual 3-way relationship with a guy named Dylan, aka the Murder Corpse King. One of the ladies has a daughter who's unfortunately been roped into their web of dysfunction. They host a video series called the Gala News Network, where they seem to push back against extreme examples of the Me Too movement, and they also make true crime videos. The girls have gotten into a lot of controversies, not just because of their occasional unhinged opinions, but because of the nature of their relationship and the bullying and exploitation of their daughter. If you've been on the internet for a long time, you begin to feel like you've seen it all. But you really haven't seen it if you've never met the Gala Sisters. Rachel and Rhea are Irish twins, as they like to say, because they're born less than 15 months apart. They love that fact about themselves so much that they literally say it every time in the intro of their videos.
Hey, Gala famous Rachel.
And Rhea.
And we're the Gala Sisters. We're actually Irish twins.
Yeah, which means we're 15 months apart or less.
Before we get into the weeds of their uncomfortable online presence, let's properly introduce the players, starting with the elder of the two sisters, Rhea Galarneau. Rhea is 39 years old and resides in Minneapolis. She's been in the Masonic world since she was 14, and she joined the International Order of Rainbow for Girls, where she has many past titles. When she was 34 years old, she joined Eastern Star, where she currently serves as Esther in her local chapter. When she's not doing that, she can be found watching WWE or CNN or spending time with her cats, dog, and family. She's loved animals since she was a child. She also identifies as a gray asexual lesbian. She cannot eat gluten, dairy, soy, watermelon, or blueberries. She has many chronic illnesses, including but not limited to endometriosis, fibromyalgia, and many others. She has never let it stop her, and she has allegedly ran more than 25 Ks. She's also said in the past that if she was given the chance to be cured, she would say no, since she wouldn't understand how to live like a normal person. As for her marginally younger sister, Rachel Galarneau, Rachel is 39 years old, also resides in Minneapolis. She is new to the Masonic world and is currently a member of Eastern Star. She serves as the warder for her chapter. When she's not busy with those events, she enjoys running, cooking, watching CNN and WWE, and catching up on her favorite TV shows. She's a retired restaurant manager and claimed to have worked in that industry for over 10 years. Just like her older sister, she also identifies as a gray asexual lesbian. Rachel cannot eat dairy, gluten, strawberries, and soy. She's been chronically sick most of her life, mainly with endometriosis, fibromyalgia, and celiacs. But she has a good life exploring the world with her daughter, sister, and pets. They can often be seen walking outside together. Right off the bat, the first thing you'll notice about the sisters is just how much they have in common. They share the same hobbies, the same pets, the same illnesses, the same sexual orientation, and of course, the same man. They feel very much like two people living the same one life. In fact, one of the only few things separating the sisters is that Rachel, the younger sister, has a teenage daughter named Emma. Emma is around 16 years old. She has autism and a speech-language disorder. She's part of the same organizations that her mom and aunt belong to. According to them, those programs have helped her with her social skills and taught her many valuable lessons, the greatest of which is friendship. Emma quote-unquote enjoys watching Cuomo primetime and WWE with her mom, Rachel, and her auntie, Rhea. We'll dive deeper into the relationship between Emma and her mom and aunt later. For now, it's just important to establish that she's autistic and nonverbal. Before we get into any of that, we need to talk about their relationship with Dylan. Dylan, or as he refers to himself, the Murder Corpse King or the Motley Crue King, is a man in his early 20s who was a moderator for the sisters for a long time before moving in and dating both of them. Dylan is both asexual and bisexual, according to him. His thing is being extremely loud and aggressive on camera, and that could be a result of his love of professional wrestling.
I am the YouTube Wrestling Figures Heavyweight Champion, Degeneration Motley Crue World Heavyweight Champion. Never forget it. And if you do, you're gonna get your beat. Black and blue.
He, just like the sisters, also have a bunch of mental disabilities, some of which he identifies himself, and some of which his father identified but he actively rejects.
I used to have a lot of talks with my dad saying that I was bipolar. That's not true. I'm not bipolar in any way. Yeah, I might be stuck in my head all the time, but that's not a bad thing or a good thing.
When they broke onto the internet, naturally a lot of people had questions. Given that a three-way couple or a throuple is controversial enough on its own, how does a throuple work when it involves two sisters? Are the sisters romantically involved with each other? And does this count as incest? Well, sisters seem to think not.
Woo, woo, woo. No, they're not dating each other. They're dating me. Get your damn facts straight. I know I'm soft like butter. Thank you. Don't care. Moving on to something that's more important to you than you.
So it's very...
In the context of all this, that's good news. The sisters aren't romantically involved with each other, just with the same man despite both being lesbians. They appear to be sister wives in the literal sense. With that out of the way, we can ask some of the more pressing questions, like whether or not Dylan was groomed. Given the 15-plus year age gap between him and the sisters, this is a valid concern. Dylan, though, feels it's impossible for him to have been groomed because he wasn't a teenager when he met them.
That means I am at the age of dating them, 23. Get that through your heads. Seriously. It's not that hard to understand. I'm not 18, I'm not 15, I'm not any of that crap. Okay.
That's not an entirely bad defense. He's an adult after all, and at that age he can date whoever he pleases. But that doesn't mean grooming couldn't have occurred. His current age isn't as important as the power dynamics at play, because whilst he may not be 15 or 18 years old, the age gap is quite literally that many years. Both the Gala sisters are old enough to be his mother, and if that isn't uncomfortable enough, then it's important to remember that Dylan did move into their house. He lives under their roof, and he calls himself the sisters' little brother.
Yes, we are in a throuple, but I'm also still Rachel's sister.
Yeah.
Still her sister, and I always will be.
And I'm also going to be still the Gala Sisters' little brother, for example.
It's extremely weird no matter how you shake it. It gets even worse when you consider how their relationship was started. Dylan, who actually comes from Florida, claims he flew up to Minnesota to meet the sisters secretly. He didn't tell any of his friends and family members for months, which later became years. The sisters knew about it too. They were the ones who invited him over, and they even paid for his flight ticket and everything. Dylan then told the sisters he'd like to stay with them because he doesn't want to go back to his parents' house, and thus was born the throuple. Dylan's family members then found out where he was and what he was doing and tried to reach out to help him. They thought he was kidnapped by the sisters, and Dylan even had to make a now-deleted video on his now-deleted channel to tell them to back off. All of that is extremely disturbing, to say the least, and that's a general theme with the Gala sisters. The more you find out, the more disturbing the rabbit hole gets. But without further ado, it's finally time we talk about their content. They started off with huge plans for their channel. They intended to have two channels. One where they host a semi-serious show criticizing Me Too cases gone too far, and a second Gala Family channel where they post more personal videos. Now, their political content on their main channel is somewhat surprisingly the least controversial part of the Gala sisters' lives. Their live streams on there do provide a fair few bits of insane comments, but the worst of the Gala sisters and Dylan comes to light when they get personal. Like when Dylan called one of the sisters sloppy seconds while she was sitting right next to him.
Took what you wanted. I got your sloppy seconds.
and I'm damn well gonna make the best out of what I got.
Dylan on a whole is extremely weird in these videos. As well as being unbearably loud, he also just randomly farts or burps whenever he feels like it. He does it on camera in front of his two partners without any sort of apology. Sometimes the sisters will have an uncomfortable look on their faces, but they largely seem to be okay with the behavior and they rarely correct him. The sisters themselves aren't a lot better. They tend to interrupt each other frequently and even tell Dylan to shut up when they're trying to finish a thought. The dynamic they have with Rachel's daughter Emma is even harder to comprehend. As we mentioned before, Emma is extremely autistic and nonverbal. With that in mind, Dylan especially shows no care whatsoever when interacting with her.
And you might get to see Emma. Shush. You will also get to see...
Turn around, please. Hello. No, this way.
What else do we do, Emma?
Taco burgers.
Taco and burgers.
Do we have French fries too?
French fries.
And
Water bottle and the Pepsi.
water bottle on the Pepsi? Cool.
Wonderful. Now can your mother talk?
That's awesome. The MCK
Right.
back here.
Did you bring 2 pinwheels with you?
She did? Emma, speak.
Speak.
You brought 2 pin. What else?
The waters.
Candles?
Candles.
Did you get some candles?
Some candles?
What else did you do today?
Do it today.
Did all of your friends say happy birthday to you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, did you feel special?
I bet if we...
The
I bet-
toilet wipe.
Yep. We don't wipe off makeup with Clorox wipes. She wanted to wear makeup today, so we put makeup on her. Happy birthday, Miss Emma.
You guys, can you believe that Emma is 16?
I can't believe you're 16.
You can see he doesn't let her talk. He puts his hands on her and the sisters are clearly uncomfortable with it, but they choose to say and do nothing. On top of that, the tone completely changes when Dylan isn't there. But before we get too far ahead of ourselves, it's important to note that the sisters aren't exactly innocent on this front either. Occasionally, when they're all together, they get too sucked into treating Emma badly.
Emma, pay attention. Hello. Look at the camera, please. Thank you.
Yeah, pay attention, Em.
We're recording. We're working. We're
Yeah,
not
we are.
playing.
We're working.
You're not going to play
So-
with anything today.
We're not going to record while we're riding the bus because you really shouldn't do that. I think you're actually not allowed to.
No.
Yeah, I know who I'm talking about.
It's time to go.
Jay the Marquis Evans.
It's bad.
Don't worry, kiddo. It's coming soon.
It's coming soon. That's
Okay.
fall.
Right.
Look, we
Right.
all actually really get along
We need to get her
really
phone
well.
back.
Please shut up. Except for the teenager.
Emma, please shush.
Stop.
No, and Christmas is all about
Giving.
giving. This morning, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't remember.
This morning.
Quiet, let Nancy tell her story. You were playing When You Wish Upon a Star when all this happened. And that was so fitting. That was the most fitting thing that you possibly could.
Lie.
Yes, we make friends with everybody, everywhere we go. Everyone
Yes.
remembers us.
Yes.
We're very
Yeah.
memorable.
It just seems like an overall toxic environment to be in. Not even just for Emma, although she's the primary victim of all of this, but for all of them. Whatever mental disabilities they have clearly isn't being helped by being around each other like this. They're constantly talking past each other like none of them care enough to do any of the listening.
I wish I could. Why would you all marry the same guy? Because we both like him.
Is it matter? Why do you...
I don't remember asking for your opinion. If I want your opinion, I'll tell you what it is.
Oh my god, why does that word go through? You can't groom an adult. That's not possible.
Once again, y'all...
I know you guys were saying about Charlotte Dobre too, and she doesn't wear lip plumper either. Some people just have really big... We're not... No one in this is married. I was married a long time ago.
It seems like you guys don't even like each other. Well, here's the thing. We're crass, we're rude, we're rough and tumble. She and I were born in the 80s, and I've worked in restaurants for over 20 years, and...
I was married to a family that was just very
that's not good, by
and
the
we
way.
basically lived off the grid, so we're rough around the edges. One of the reasons why we like him and he likes us is because we are not like, "Oh, I'm gonna get my tea and I'm gonna drink my tea. My sister, what did we do last night?
Okay, and you
Went
know,
to bed
Francis
at
and don't get married.
9:01.
Oh,
I've
why
been
don't
married.
you go on?
I've been married. I was married for over almost 12 years.
Me too.
So telling me that not get married is...
It doesn't ever feel like a conversation is ever really happening when the three of them are together like that. It gets slightly better when it's just the two sisters without Dylan present, but only marginally so. Because of that, they tend to contradict themselves a whole lot without realizing it, like with the sexual orientation mess. The two sisters claim to be lesbians, but have both been married to men in the past, and have precisely zero history of dating any other women. Not to mention that they're both dating the same man in Dylan now. Then there's the asexual and aromantic confusion. Both the sisters and Dylan all claim to be asexual and aromantic. They made a video on Valentine's Day telling people they don't want to participate in the holiday. But both of those claims don't hold true, as you'll easily find multiple videos where Dylan is getting handsy and raunchy with one of the sisters right there in front of the camera.
Happy Aromantic Awareness Week!
Yeah. Yes, all three of us are aromantic, which means romance is disgusting. Like, I want you guys to, they have like the ball.
Rose.
It is so disgusting. Who wants to buy that Hallmark? Especially the little Chucky hearts.
I hate flowers. They're disgusting. If you would like to give me flowers, that's the equivalent of saying I want you dead.
If somebody ends up giving me a bouquet of flowers, I'm gonna light that on fire and shove it up there.
And happy, very unhappy Valentine's Day to you all, and don't you ever ask any of us out.
Yeah, because I'm happily taken by these two.
In the most platonic best friend way you could possibly think of, and you probably won't understand anyways.
Any more of these I can use? Really? No. Like, I want you guys to, they have like the ball polisher. It's just the
So they aren't asexual. One of them literally has a child. On top of that, they aren't aromantic either, as they constantly swap kisses in their videos and tell each other, "I love you" all the time. Unless they define romance differently, that certainly is proof of the contrary. The only thing we know for sure is that the ladies are polyamorous. Everything else just seems to be wish fulfillment. Like they want to be lesbians, asexual, and aromantic, but they're not in practice. But to return to Emma, it's very clear to see that she's being exploited a little bit by the sisters for their channel. They're constantly trying to get her to face a camera. They're always talking about her disability, and they just let Dylan say and do whatever he wants to her. Dylan likes to call himself her stepfather despite only being 6 years older than her, and that he's not married to her mom. Dylan did get engaged to the sisters, but they never got married, at least not to our knowledge. More evidence to support Emma being treated as an asset rather than a regular child involves the sisters rarely using her name and calling her the Gala daughter instead. The sisters have a separate channel called the Gala Fam, where they post more of their homemade family content. So I'm going to read a couple of their video titles and you can figure out what the common denominator is. Autistic teen singing Mulan. Autistic teen sings to dad's cat. Autistic teen gets kitten for her birthday. Autistic teen holds kitten for the first time. Kitten helps autistic teen with death. Autistic teen eats mac and cheese with kitten. Autistic teen explores antique store, and so on. There are so many videos on this channel titled that way that you'd be forgiven for thinking Emma doesn't have a name. It's obvious why they do it though. They're using their daughter's condition as a hook to leverage pity views from the public. What's even more annoying is that in all of those videos mentioned above, they use her real name Emma in all of them. They then decide to label her autistic teen afterwards because that's going to bring in the views. The videos certainly carry the vibe of them parading the teenage girl like she's an attraction at a circus or a zoo. And that's because these videos are nothing interesting or substantive. They have her doing the most mundane things like eating mac and cheese or petting a cat. This is pretty bad on its own. But when you roll it on top of all the examples of Dylan and the Gala sisters just straight up bullying Emma, then you start to really worry about the teenage girl. Another example of this is a video they made when they took Emma out for Pride. It was a new environment packed with people and all sorts of different sounds and colors. It doesn't take an expert to know Emma would likely be overstimulated by all this, but the Gala sisters didn't seem to know. Emma, struggling with the situation she'd been out in, ran off, forcing Rhea to pursue before the mother, Rachel, finally decides to chase after them.
Come on, back here, come on. Come on.
She's autistic. She's just a little overwhelmed.
I got it.
Okay, all right. Yep.
Just let her sit for a second.
Rachel fell over chasing after her, and that's probably because she refused to put the camera down, even when her autistic daughter had just ran off in a place full of strangers. There's so many ways that could have gone extremely wrong, but thankfully, Emma was found and calmed down. They get into situations like that fairly often too, and this is why they started to gain the attention and criticism of the general public. As far as criticism goes, neither the sisters or Dylan respond to it well. We already know them to be aggressive and loud for no reason, so that gets 10 times worse when there actually is a reason. They allegedly banned certain words from their live chat, and they also banned people too if they dare say anything negative about their relationship. They even make Emma read some of the hate comments, which is just sick and depressing. It doesn't even have to be hate comments. When it's just a point they don't agree with, they get angry, confrontational, and pretend that they're being prosecuted by the internet.
Those of you who want to talk about the Gala dad, get the fuck out of here. I have been through enough with him. And you're gonna stop. And if
You're gonna stop.
Because
all y'all gotta say,
I'm talking.
Smoke up his skirt, and
Would you like it if I came to your fucking life and told you what to do? Huh? Would you like that? No?
Some of you guys
Then
are
shush.
acting like entitled little children.
In case you're confused, like you would be if you were to watch the Gala Sisters content without context, it's their own fans that they're constantly berating or insulting. The sisters and Dylan would have you believe that it's just hate comments they're constantly getting, but most of the comments are actually positive. The ones that aren't positive are usually just genuine concerns over their well-being. Like when they see the sisters cook and eat on the floor, or when they ask sisters simple questions. Just to give a clearer example, here's the response video they made when someone politely asked what they do for a living and if they plan on having more kids.
If some of you can, great. That's fine. You can have kids. Good for you. That's your story, not mine. I'm also 39 years old.
so we will not be having children with the boyfriend that we share.
All right, so let's move on to questions that actually matter. Bye.
That is a lot of sass for a simple question asked politely. People have theorized that Dylan is the one who's responsible for that, since he's the ultra-aggressive one, and the sisters are generally a lot calmer when he's not in the video. And that theory makes a lot of sense, because Dylan has a history of telling everybody to F off. If we head over to Dylan's personal channel, or at least the only personal channel that hasn't yet been deleted, we'll see countless proof of this. Dylan's channel is called DMC King of the Gala News Network, and it only contains 3 videos. The channel's primary purpose seems to be the multiple amateur YouTube wrestling playlists, and of course the community posts, which is what we'll be looking at. The first post here is from January of 2023, and Dylan says, as of January 5th, 2023, the @Gala News Network and @DMCKing20 are no longer friends with @RadenKulas. He is a baby bitch that quit YouTube because of change in YouTube terms and conditions. He lost views as he continued to upload videos to his channel, not to mention the fact his co-host Blake snapped on me because he is jealous of myself and my girlfriends. He doesn't have the brain power to operate a YouTube channel or own a business of the magnitude that we have. To be clear, Dylan's channel had only about 200 subscribers, and the Gala News Network had 4,000 subscribers, whilst the channel he's accusing of not knowing how to operate a YouTube channel has over 100,000 subscribers. This is clearly delusion of the highest order. He also claims the co-hosts of the channel, who probably don't even know who he is, are jealous of his relationship with the Gala Sisters. This particular brand of delusion isn't an isolated event. He genuinely thinks he's popular and a celebrity. He accuses anybody who criticizes his relationship as being jealous and only doing it for clout. Let's take a look at another example. Here he says, as most of you know, I have added 2 new co-hosts to my team, and if you don't like what they have to say or what they contribute to my show, piss off. Because, well, yes, I moved into their apartment, and quite frankly, it's none of your damn business because they needed protection. If that offends you all, well, not my problem. FYI, 2 numbskulls that think they run this business, you don't. I'm only going to say this once. This was quickly followed by another post saying, guess what, sheepholes? This needs to come to an end. Leave us alone. I am sick and tired of seeing nothing but dog Stop leaving disgusting comments on my girlfriend's comments section. I am not joking around anymore. This needs to stop now. This is how it goes for Dylan. He says something rude, calls everyone jealous, and then plays the victim when he gets any blowback. When he got into a bit of a controversy for calling himself Emma's daddy, a girl who's only 6 years younger than him and whom he frequently abused verbally, this is what he had to say in response. DMC fam, it has come to my attention that some of you are going after my family and trying to break us up. That's not going to happen, got it? You've gone so far as to go after my daughter. Yeah, I let my girlfriend's kid call me her daddy. If you got a problem with that, I don't care. You don't get a say in my personal life. We have a great relationship and we're happy. I don't judge you, so you don't get to judge me. Also, it's illegal to spread lies about parenting. The first question that came to mind is, what lies? All people said is that he's not the girl's father and that he would make a terrible role model for any child in his current state. And that's not entirely his fault either. He looks like he still needs a father figure in his life and is of course severely unprepared to be one himself. This is another reason why the whole relationship with two 40-year-old women thing is a bad idea. And if he wasn't so angry every time he gets criticized, someone might actually be able to get that through to him. But that's not the case because the angry posts don't stop there. When he fell sick for a while and wasn't appearing in a couple of the sisters' live streams, people began asking questions about what's going on. So he responded with another post saying, "Recently, everyone is weighing in on how I have been feeling. I would like this to be put to a stop right now, because that is really disgusting and disrespectful to some that might not ever feel better that is in the chronic illness community. You are not going to be leaving stupid comments about me in the comments section of my girlfriend's YouTube channel with these stupid remarks. Oh, I hope MCK feels better soon. All three of us have chronic illness that could be harmful to all of us." As you can see, there's a lot to unpack here. Most pressingly, he appears to cite what is clearly a positive message in, "Oh, I hope MCK feels better soon," as an example of sort of abuse he's receiving. It appears confusing at first, but he's quite literally telling people not to wish him well because lots of people in the quote-unquote chronic illness community might not ever get better. If that isn't complaining about nothing, then I don't know what is. The other thing of note in that post is Dylan casually admitting that both he and the Gala sisters frequently fall ill. That sounds like a genuine case for worry, and they probably shouldn't be staying all together if that's true, especially as he made another community post saying, "For everyone that is coming after us, I got only 2 words for you. Please stop. I can't heal while everyone else keeps coming after me. This stress is overwhelming and unbearable for me to get any sleep. Not to mention the fact doctor's orders are bed rest and sleep. No walking for long periods of time." Again, that sounds pretty serious. But before we can ask what's going on with him or even think about helping him, he resumes normal order by pushing everyone away. People think that they can take my job of being a spokesperson for the @Gala News Network. As far as we know, I am the only one that has been hired. Don't pretend to work for my girlfriends. Which was then followed by, "As of recently, I've gotten so many random messages about how I choose to live my life. This needs to be put to an end once and for all. If you have a problem with how I live my life, unfollow me and unfriend me across all social media, and do me a favor and forget that I exist." After reading a couple of these Dylan posts, it's become clear that Dylan himself might need rescuing every bit as much as Emma does. However, that's a matter of opinion, and it might be time to take Dylan's advice and forget that he exists for a while. We need to return to the main culprits of this video, the Gala sisters. Because as we've seen, they tend to respond to criticism very poorly themselves. Around late 2023, when Gala sisters began to go viral for their weird relationship and their bad treatment of Emma, Rachel made a video responding, or rather more accurately, dismissing the allegations.
Emma, the Gala daughter's mom, I gave birth to her. And recently it came to my attention that there is a video going around TikTok that says horrible things and makes horrible allegations that are actually really fake. And it's ridiculous. So what this person did, and one of the people that did this, her name is Shoddy, and it's probably a bot account because there are bot accounts that do this. She took clips of when we were live talking to rude people in our lives, in our live streams, that were harassing us, calling us names, being aggressive, hostile, rude, disgusting, and nasty when we were talking to them. She took clips of that And she took clips from a TikTok skit that I made with my sister and our boyfriend, our fiance, that we made together, and it was a joke. Like, we were making fun of ignorant children on the internet who just jump to conclusions.
But that's not true. There's no context that justify the clips. Her trying to pass it off as a skit or as an out-of-context statement doesn't work because it's happened on multiple occasions. Despite the sisters having a whole channel dedicated to mocking Me Too extremists, they are very quick to play victims when people criticize them in any way. Their go-to move is to copyright strike any creator who dares to talk about them. They not only copyright strike the creators, but also threaten further litigation if they don't back down despite the videos being fair use. This is probably the reason why most creators don't cover them on their channels. Two creators who have covered them in the past include Steve DeLive and Doxy Carter, who they both have the same experience of being copyright struck.
Hey guys, this isn't a video I was expecting to make. Maybe I should have been expecting it, but I woke up this morning to a copyright strike by the Gala Sisters. Now, they copyright struck about a minute, and the minute that they're copyright striking, it is fair use. 100% it's fair use. It was also their channel intro that they struck. Very peculiar indeed. You'd think they would have struck the video that they have private now, but no. So this is not a valid copyright strike. I want to start off the video by saying that. But it goes a little bit deeper. See, I don't check my email too much. Apparently, they sent me an email this Saturday saying, "Hello, it has come to our attention that you stole our content with the intent to defame, harass, and bully us." I don't remember doing that. It wouldn't be so bad, but you are picking on a disabled teenager. Again, using the disabled teenager route. You were causing emotional distress and instigating a mob. Unfortunately, this video must come down. It is discrimination against a disabled family for our orientation, which is completely illegal. If this doesn't come down within 24 hours, we will discuss further action with our attorney. Sincerely, blank. They didn't sign it.
As you can see, they're pretty much the same excuses we've gone over already. They accuse you of bullying their disabled teen daughter and using their illness for views when that's exactly what they're being called out for. Once again, displaying their lack of self-awareness. For good measure, the Gala Sisters also sign up the creators' email accounts for a bunch of spam, which is petty more than anything else. These copyright strikes never go anywhere. The creators usually get cleared once they push back on it. And even though they threaten to sue practically every time, they've never actually gone through it before, at least, not that we know of. It's all bluff, and it has to be because there are no legal grounds by which the sisters could argue against the videos being fair use. And they wouldn't need to constantly strike channels if they weren't afraid that their dark, twisted lifestyles would be getting outed. And trust me when I say, we haven't even covered half of their controversies. Before Dylan came into the picture, the sisters shared a deep admiration, or should I say obsession, for another man, Chris Cuomo. As far back as 2020, they made videos about the TV journalist. But instead of expressing their feelings directly, they used Emma. They put Emma in front of a camera and claimed that she was the one who was obsessed with Chris Cuomo and that she would do anything to meet him or have a conversation with him. They also claimed that Emma sees Chris as her dad. A huge shout out to the TikToker, Panasarus, who uncovered all this.
I also want to say that it's pretty clear to us and to you that what we want for Christmas either cannot be bought with money or it's super expensive. Typical Rachel and Rhea.
Emma had a wish for Christmas this year, and I think that we might want to share. I think we might want to share it for Christmas plus. No, it's not for Christmas. We might want to share it here.
Go ahead.
What did she tweet?
Oh, Emma would love to meet, like, talk over the phone or video chat with Chris Cuomo.
That's Emma's dream. And Chris, if you're watching this, could you take like 5 minutes out of your day to make her dream come true? Emma doesn't really have a dad, and she does kind of wish that you were her dad. So if you have to be watching this, or somebody knows and have to be watching this, would you please let him know?
It's pretty obvious that they're using Emma to get an appointment with a guy they're huge fans of. This doesn't come out of nowhere. We've already seen that they have no problems exploiting Emma and her condition to get attention on the internet. Thankfully, it never worked, as they didn't get that private meetup they were looking for. 2 years later, the sisters did manage to call into the Chris Cuomo show, and they bizarrely proceeded to criticize his co-host for being boring and micromanaging his show. Chris Cuomo isn't the only celebrity they're huge fans of, though. They also have an obsession with Marilyn Manson, so much so that they made and marketed a hand soap branded after him in their online store. They called the product the Marilyn, and they priced it at $9 per bottle. According to sources close to Manson's wife, Lindsay Usich, the man allegedly sent a cease and desist to the sisters. The sisters were also allegedly banned from the Marilyn Manson subreddit for using multiple accounts to cause chaos on the sub. But speaking of their online store, in addition to Marilyn Manson-themed hand soaps, they also sold bath bombs and shower frizzles, as well as advertising space on their platforms. To quickly rub through some of the items on the store, you have the toilet bombs for $5, the sink bombs for $4, the Annabelle bath bombs for $5, the Matilda bath bombs for $5, the Shimmer bath bombs for $5, and then you've got the Shimmer, Annabelle, and Matilda shower frizzles for $3.21. Then you've got the advertisement pieces. It costs $5 to advertise on their podcast, $10 to advertise on one article on their website, and $53 to advertise on their YouTube channel. They also tried to sell t-shirts with their dead pets on them, or t-shirts with Emma's face on them, but the shirts were quickly taken down amid backlash from the internet. It's clear at this point that there is no extent to which they won't exploit Emma and her autism in order to make money or draw attention. But with all that said, we haven't touched on the clear worst example of this. In September of 2021, the Gala Sisters, or Rachel in particular, started a GoFundMe with the target set at $3,000 for Emma to get a new service dog, because the old one had apparently died. They had this to write on the GoFundMe page: Emma is a 15-year-old autistic girl. Recently, she lost her former service dog, Buzz. Buzz passed away peacefully in his sleep on September 21st, 2021. Emma is very upset her best friend is gone. She does not completely understand where he is, despite our attempts to explain death to her. The school is trying to help too. She is begging for another male black dog that she can name Governor Buzz too. Our little family is unfortunately allergic to most dogs, so we need a hypoallergenic one. Purebred, hypoallergenic dogs are not cheap. Please help us get Emma another dog that can keep her safe and work alongside her. The GoFundMe quickly picked up steam, and they made an update on the page to encourage the donations to keep coming in. Hello everyone, we are almost halfway to funding Emma's second service dog. Thank you so much for your support so far. Emma is very excited for her next service dog. Sadly, we all still miss Buzz. We walked by the dog section at Target yesterday and Emma started crying. We've been in contact with the breeder, and we will get to meet the dogs they have right now. In fact, they have a litter of puppies all claimed for, who are waiting to go to their forever homes. They have set aside one puppy for Emma next year, 2022, and will help us train the pup. All we need to do is pay them. Please share this fundraiser and donate if you can. So as you can see, they're milking the sadness here. Just really trying to get more people to donate. They then made a post saying that they're looking at a few dogs and assessing their options on the 1st of October. Hello everyone, thank you for your donations and support through this difficult time. We are going to carefully assess our options and find the perfect dog for Emma. We plan on obtaining a puppy and starting training next spring-summer. Things like this move slowly, and if they don't, you're probably being scammed. Puppy mills are a serious problem. We will keep you updated as things progress. Please give us time to get this done in a safe and effective way. We all miss Buzz so much, but it will be worth the wait for Emma's next amazing service dog. But then you're not going to believe what happens next. And that's nothing. Nothing happens. Rachel goes dark, and the next and final update doesn't come until 6 months later. That's right, 6 months. In April of 2022, Rachel returned to say, unfortunately, the breeder we were trying to use ghosted us, and Emma did not get her dog. We are working to try and find her another one, but this takes time. We don't live somewhere that's conducive to raising a small puppy. So right now we are still in between dogs. The money is in savings for Emma to use at a later date. Anyone telling you otherwise isn't telling the truth. So Emma never got the service dog. We've seen their videos for up to 18 months past this point, and there was never any service dogs with Emma, or indeed any proof that she even needs one. Rachel never updated the GoFundMe again, quite literally because there was no update. The GoFundMe raised over $2,300, and there's simply no accountability for that cash. So we've seen example after example of the Gala Sisters being awful people, but we still haven't uncovered their biggest lie, which was a plot twist of epic proportions. It turns out that the Gala Sisters aren't even related to each other. All the information in this section was found out by a TikToker named Penisaurus, who extensively covered the Knot sisters on her channel. She received proof from people who know Rachel and Rhea from their childhood that the two of them aren't actually biological sisters. One of the pieces of evidence she received was an obituary for Rhea's dad, who had just passed. Her dad's name was Galarneau, and so both Rhea and her real younger sister were named in the obituary as children. But Rachel was nowhere to be found on it. Turns out Rachel just changed her name after divorcing her husband to Galarneau instead of her maiden name, and thus was born the Great Delusion, or the Great Lie, depending on how you see the issue. And again, thanks to Penisaurus pointing this out, there's proof of them contradicting themselves on one of their videos.
I mean, did you grow up watching Jeopardy? I know I did. Yeah. I mean, we did.
Well, we grew up in
Well, it's true. I mean, oops, I'm sorry. That was a brain fog moment. But
cut that out.
But, you know, like, we would watch it. And, you know, our dad watched it.
Yeah.
And our dad watches Jeopardy. He really enjoyed it. And, you know...
Did you catch that? In the middle of the conversation, Rhea tried to make a point by asking Rachel if she watched a particular show growing up, forgetting for a brief moment their fake reality, which implies that they grew up in the same house and thus would have watched the same thing. You even hear Rachel saying she should cut that part out when she edits the video, and they just forgot to do it. Suddenly, a lot of things start to make sense. The reason why they're both so comfortable dating the same man is because they're actually just close friends who see themselves as sisters, rather than actual biological sisters. That's not to say their relationship with the same man isn't weird as it is, but it's a lot less inexplicable than before. This next part is just wild speculation and a matter of opinion, but it also explains why they get so edgy whenever anybody makes a video about them. With a little investigation, anybody could easily find out that they're liars on top of being sensationalist weirdos who leverage their disabled daughter at any opportunity they get to better their own lives. Ever since all this information came to light in late 2023, the Gala Sisters have been in full retreat. They worked to slowly scrub their social media. They deleted their entire TikTok account, their Instagram, their second YouTube channel, Dylan's second YouTube channel, and even certain videos on their main channel. They haven't uploaded any content in about a year now, and the only place where they're still semi-active is on their Twitter account. Although they may not be going live or making videos at the moment, they're still up to their old antics of playing the victim on Twitter. They had tweets responding to claims that they're Karens for running away from the internet. They also had tweets claiming that they're discriminated against when they're delivering food, which seems to be their full-time job now. At the end of the day, most of the Gala Not Really Sisters content is just cringe, unnecessary lies that they told for attention, and people would care a lot less if not for the countless examples of their teenage daughter Emma being exploited, verbally maltreated, and exposed to a toxic environment. And that's all for now.